Hey guys, so in today's video I wanted to take you through another Google Ads case study for one of our house cleaning clients. This particular client is based in Montreal in Canada. They run a house cleaning business, and today I just wanted to take you through some of the results that we've been getting for this company, as well as some of the key things you want to think about when you're setting up your Google Ads campaign to maximize the chances of success. So for those of you that don't know me, I run a marketing company. We only work with cleaning companies. I'll leave a link in the description for those of you that are interested. So let's jump straight into it. So I've just picked out the last 30 days worth of data here, and as you can see in the campaign we spent just over $1,100. We've generated 32 leads, so this is a mixture of calls and quote requests, so people filling out a short lead form. That has meant that we have generated leads at about $36 each, and the conversion rate is how many conversions have come about from the clicks that we've been charged for in the campaign. So out of this 1,100, we've generated 169 clicks and 32 conversions have come from those clicks, and that gives you that 18-19% conversion rate. So generally this number is a good one to track. Generally the aim with all my clients, I want to try and hit a 20% level or higher, so we're just short of that with this client. But you know that if you are in and around this number, then your campaign is probably running pretty well. If it's 10% or 5%, that you've got a fair amount of work to do. So this is a good place to start. But let's jump into the campaign and just show you how everything is set up. So if we jump into the campaign level first, as you can see here, we've got some of the data down here. Clicks are coming in just short of $7 a click. This is the 169 clicks, and these are the conversion data, the conversion rates, and the cost per leads in there. So the way that I like to run these campaigns, I think you want to keep things really simple. And the reason for that is, some campaigns that I come across have lots and lots of different ad groups, and the problem with having your data all over the place is that it's very hard to track any changes you make. So if you make one change, it's hard to track the impact across all your other ad groups. So for me, I always suggest going off with either one or two ad groups to begin with. And for those of you that don't know, so the ad group, really, the way you want to think about the ad group is every single service type that you offer, you want to have an ad group associated with them. So within the ad group, you select the keywords that you want to target, and then if someone searches for one of those keywords, they then get shown the advert within the ad group. So with this particular client, we're running a house cleaning campaign. So in theory, we just have a single house cleaning ad group. I'll show you some of the keywords that we go after here. In actual fact, you can see I've got two here. The reason for that is that sometimes what you find is that if someone searches for a cleaning related term and it includes their primary city, their primary location, so it could be cleaning companies Montreal or Montreal house cleaners, as opposed to house cleaning companies or cleaning services, sometimes what we find is that those location keywords perform better than the generics. And if we scroll over here, you can see in actual fact, this campaign, we're still pretty early on, but you can see the vast majority of the leads are coming, this 24 out of the 32 is coming from these Montreal keywords, 8 from the generics, and actually the lead cost is a fair bit below that. So this is really interesting because it means that if we can see a difference in performance, that we want to go more aggressively after these location keywords. So this can often happen. It doesn't always happen, but obviously by splitting out the keywords in this way between the ad groups, it allows you to see if there's any difference in performance. So let's jump into the house cleaning ad group, just to keep things really simple. So there's a couple of things to know on the keywords that we're going after. So we are targeting all the different variations of of cleaning services that you would expect in here. So as you can see here, we've got maid service, house cleaning services, housekeeping, cleaning company. These are all the different variants that you know, we're going after. And you need to make sure that you're capturing all these different variants, because, you know, if someone searches for maid service but you know, it's not in your exact list of keywords, there's a chance that your ad won't go into the auction, you won't show up, so you will miss out on that potential client. So as a general rule, we want to make sure that we come up with this sort of all these different variants that you can think of. And, you know, for those of you that have been in business a while and know the industry well, this won't be a huge surprise. So this is really your starting point. So once we have these keywords in place, then the next step is to figure out, you know, what match type we want to go after. And broadly, there are 3 different match types. You've got exact match, phrase match, and broad match. And these all reflect the variations of this particular keyword that you've put in here. So an exact match is very, very specific to that keyword. So if someone typed in maid service or maid services or maids, something very, very close to that, this exact match notification means that our ads would only show up if it was either maid service or something very, very close. The next degree of variation is what's called a phrase match. So a phrase match would say if maid service is included in the overall string of, you know, the overall string that someone has typed into Google, then our ads would potentially show up. So it could be, you know, an example of a great search would be, you know, maid service near me, or maid service plus another specific, you know, say neighborhood in Montreal. But then you'll get a mix of other less relevant ones. So it could be, you know, Angela's maid service, which would be a competitor search. You don't generally want to come up for competitor searches because they, you know, if someone is typing specifically for a competitor, your conversion rates will be a lot lower. Maybe they've already booked service and they want to change the time, or they booked service and the cleaner's not shown up. So they're not a true cold lead that is looking for service. So a phrase match is obviously if this word is included in the phrase, you know, our ads could potentially show up for. So the good part of doing this is that you open yourselves up for potentially some good searches, but then on the other side you'll get the odd bad one that comes through as well. And then the third group is broad match. Broad match generally I would recommend you not running. So broad match is a real high degree of variation. So, you know, for example, cleaning company, it could, you know, as a broad match, it could come up with cleaning company equipment, or cleaning company suppliers, or setting up a cleaning company. So, you know, these are all still cleaning related searches, but there's a smaller chance of those people being in the market for what we do. We'll get a lower conversion rate from them. So generally my approach whenever you set up a new campaign is that you want to go with exact match to begin with. You want to go after that pool of people who have the highest chance of converting, have the highest degree of interest in what you do. And this is generally the exact match. And, you know, you want to run the campaign, and, you know, if you can spend your budget by just getting in front of exact match, generally that's a good way to go about it. You know, you can see the same sort of things if you're running Google local service ads, you know, LSA. You know, LSA ads tend to only show up on exact match keywords as well. So, you know, if you're getting some good results with LSA and want more of those types of leads, then it makes sense to go after a similar match type as well. So this is why I tend to start off with exact match to begin with. You know, if we are in one of those locations in the country where there's not very much search, or maybe it's a slower time of season, we may look to introduce some phrase match into there as well. So once we have this running, really the next you know, the next thing to jump to is the search terms report. So the search terms are in the insights and reports, and then search terms down here. And really the difference between the keyword and the search term is that the keyword, because of the match types, the exact or phrase match, you know, the specific keyword may be different to the search term that someone actually searches in Google. So this is the specific terms that people are typing into Google and our ads showing up for. So as I said, with the previous example, maid service, if we were running that as a phrase match, even though maid service is a phrase match, we might come up for a competitor, Angela's maid service. So that would be where Angela's maid service would come in here. So the reason why the search terms report is really important is because you want to pick up here any poor quality searches, and then what you can do is, if you find a bad search, cleaning company is obviously a great search, but if you find a bad search, then you can add that as a negative keyword. And I'll show you where these negative keywords are. But let's say we had Angela's cleaning service, we could click on this search term and add Angela's cleaning service as a negative keyword. And the reason why this is important is that if anyone searches for anything that contains the word, say Angela's or Angela's cleaning service in the future, we don't run the risk of our ad being clicked on. We can put more of that budget into the higher converting areas. But as you can see from this search terms report, this is a really good search terms report, really tight, and it's because we are running exact match. There's lots of really good searches here. Cleaning company near me, cleaning service, cleaning company. Generally the two types of searches we want to get in front of are what I call a service or a service plus location search. So a service would be cleaning service, cleaning company, house cleaner. Obviously, if there's a location included, then that would be a service plus location. So cleaning company near me, cleaning companies Montreal, cleaning services near me. These would be location searches. So if we can get the vast majority of our search terms to be either service or service plus location searches, we know that we are getting in front of the highest quality pool of traffic. These people are, out of all the cleaning related searches happening, these are the people that are in the market for what we do. And I can almost ignore the rest of the account, because if I can see that the search terms are really good, I know we're going to be getting towards that 20% conversion rate level or higher. So as you look down the search, search terms report, as I said, it's a really good search. There's no competitors. You'll see some French ones. There's some French speaking population in Montreal. But as you look down the search, there are no competitor searches. The other things that you can often see would be recruitment jobs. So people might type in apply for a cleaning job or cleaning job pay rates. Someone else might put in, DIY terms. How do I clean a bathroom, or how long does it take to clean a home? Generally those types of searches you also want to be adding to your negatives, because a lower percentage of those people will be looking to hire a cleaning company. So the search terms report is really important, because it's telling you, okay, you've selected these keywords. Now, are those keywords getting in front of the right people for your business? If the search terms are good and you're getting a high percentage of service and service plus location searches, then you know that you've got the right keywords. So for me, I aim for 90% or higher search terms being the service or service plus location searches. And I know, as I said, if we're getting to those sorts of numbers, that we're going to be getting to that 20% level or higher. So the search terms are really important, as I'll show you where the negative keywords go in. So if you go into tools and then shared library and then exclusion lists, this is where Google drops your negative keywords into. As you can see here, we've got two negative keyword lists. These are actually our master negative keyword lists that we upload for all our clients that we work with. So as you can see there, they're pretty exhaustive, coming up to 6,000 negative keywords long. And what you'll find is that if you're starting from zero, it will take time to build up these negative keywords. And as you build them up, your search terms report will be getting better, because you'll be capturing more of the negatives. But it'll take time, and obviously it'll take money to do that. So this is a really important part of the account. It means that you are getting in front of the right people, the people that are in the market for what you do. If you don't have any negative keywords in there, your search terms report is likely to look pretty bad, and your conversion rates and your number of leads that you're getting from your budget is likely to be low as well. So these are the sorts of results that we're getting for this client. As I said, you know, anything towards that 20% level conversion rate is really good, you know, getting 32 leads from these, $36 lead cost. You know, this particular campaign is going well. The search terms are going well. So you know, this campaign is running quite nicely, and it will. What you tend to find is that older campaigns tend to run better and better and better with time. You get more negatives, you get more data, and ultimately this is a data platform. So the more data you can feed the machine, the better. So in this next video, I'm going to take you through another case study of one of our clients. You know, we work with over 50 cleaning companies across the country, so we've got loads of experience, and this will give you some other things to look at, a different case study, and hopefully it will allow you to get even better results for your Google Ads campaign. So I'll see you on the next one.